What's good, y'all? Oh my God, this battle was so long, but it was pretty good, y'all. I was pretty impressed. All right, so I was kind of late looking at Suge versus JC. I'm surprised they actually started on time for the first time in years. Okay, so I'll do a bar for bar next time on that battle. So right away, second battle was Rock versus GEECHI, surprisingly. So Rock goes first. He starts out talking about how he hates GEECHI's slogan, "You's a bitch," and then he says something like, "You out here selling bundles of hair, you's a bitch," and the crowd, they like that one. Then he says something like, "When I used to lift a shotgun, this shit ain't a Hoover Crip." Then he says something like, "Take Uzi to the Apple store, I damaged the map." Then he says, "Shots for you, pop, pop, pop. Sounds like you full of hot oil." You know that sound, pop, pop, when it's hot oil frying. Next bar, he says, "Y'all can't label me under Gotti. I ain't a black youngster." Then he say, "Nitty run, push rum to the side. I want vodka." Then he says, "Now I gotta hit every fucking bar, club hopper." This last bar, he says, "That nigga reppin' mafia. He ain't looking too good, fella." So I ain't gonna lie, y'all. The first round to me was pretty light. TAYROC had light bars literally in the first round, so I knew that it was a good chance that Gotti would take this first round. All right, and plus, surprisingly, Rock did do one little stumble. Wasn't major, just a little stumble. All right, so next we got GEECHI. So he starts out off the rip, y'all, with the angle about what happened at Summer Impact Reloaded. Off the rip, he got the crowd excited. "Nigga, why the fuck you ain't help out Briz?" Like that. He just came out like that. You expected him to say his slogan, "You's a bitch," but he came out like that. Hold up, hold up. So he got the crowd all hype. Hold up. Nah, what happened to the uppercut? Uppercut. Remember that slogan Rock had? The uppercut slogan. He was like, "What happened to the uppercut? Uppercut. Nigga, you was too scared to even knuckle up." I was like, yo, he was going in, y'all. Then he was like, "You's a bitch." Then he said that slogan, "You's a bitch." It had the crowd even going even more wild. Then he was like, "Stop screaming out gang shit if you don't know what that really means," which is true. Next bar, he says, if that's hot sucker shit, then what do you call that? Nigga, you's a bitch. He was just going in, y'all. I don't even know why these niggas even hanging with you. If you was from my game, we would have ganged up on you. He was basically telling him about his rules and his gangs, and if that would have happened to one of his homies in his gang that didn't help out one of his friends, they would have ganged up on them. So he was even looking at the cave gang like, yo, I can't believe y'all niggas still hang out with dude. Then he looked to Chess. He was like, yo, I see why your name is Chess. Chess, you the only one with some heart. You know how even though his name is CHESS, sometimes they use that name flip as your chest, which is CHEST. So he was like, "Chess, you the only one with some heart." Then he was like, no wonder that seatbelt didn't work. You don't ride for your niggas." He was talking to TAYROC now. I mean, the whole entire time, y'all, TAYROC head was down. The whole time. It seemed like TAYROC was shameful. He didn't know what to do. Even Smack, Hollow the Don was like standing in the front row. They was looking with their eyes like this, y'all. Like they were just looking at GEECHI like, oh shit. The whole cave gang was quiet. They looking at GEECHI like still. Okay, Coffee Blue had this blue bandana just rested on her head. It was a crazy scene, y'all. They was like, they call you Rock because without all that extra shit, you just soft. And at first, people didn't understand it. Then they was like, oh, because Rock could be a drug too. So he was like, they call you Rock, but because without all that extra shit, you just soft. So I'm telling you, y'all, he crucified the freak out of TAYROC, y'all. That's round one. I definitely had to give that first round to GEECHI. He was stellar the whole time. Good performance, in your face. He really went in with those angles. It reached a lot of good points. It was so good, y'all. He killed TAYROC in that first round. So now we're going to go to round two with TAYROC. TAYROC turned up. So he rebutted. he was like, nigga, if you was there, you would have been looking for that nearest tree to hide. Like, first he started off saying, yeah, don't talk about what I did, because if you was there, you would have been looking for, remember that angle, remember that happened with Geechee Gotti, where he was walking and something popped off in the street, and he was shown was a footage of him running behind a tree. Next bar, he goes, bloggers running my name through the mud, and he go, ... they want rock to crumble, I ain't break yet. Like, I was surprised he named bloggers, you know, because I know there are a few bloggers out there that have been talking about rock heavy. All right, next bar, he says, piss me off, ... shots pop, I got, somebody ripped me off. He called Gotti got. So he was like, I got, piss me off, ... shots pop, I got, somebody pissed me off. Then he says something like, baptized, leave him and the water holy. Next bar, he says, I'm the type to kick in his door for his large staff. Everybody in the room getting boxed, Comcast. Next bar, I bought a gun they had on display. I tripped and Coffee spashed on it. Coffee Brown was there. Coffee was there. Then next bar, he goes, split down. Gotti and Coffee reminds me of a breakfast meeting. I ain't say the whole bar, so don't quote me. It's something like that. He was going in. I must admit, he was going in the second round. I was pretty impressed. All right, he had good performance. He was going in. The crowd was feeling him. So now we go to Gotti. He says, it's a lot of gangsters in the building. Because, all right, before I start, somebody wound up passing out in the crowd, y'all. And then Gotti was like, shit, it's hot in here. Even TAYROC took off his hoodie. Okay, so now Gotti starts. So he rebuttals somebody falling out in the crowd, passing out. It's a lot of gangsters in the building. I'ma knock this nigga out so the person that passed out won't feel alone. And the crowd started laughing. So he starts going in. Let me guess, you was only standing by the door because Surf told you neighborhood watch. And then he pull out this gun, watch, you know, neighborhood watch. So he used that angle about him standing by the door. He continued the bar, but I didn't get right down the whole bar. Next bar, headshot your wifey. Put her head on the curve. Make her your gutter bitch. He says that. Next bar, he says, Rock got the spin-off, Hobbs and Shaw. Guess that's a show. Next bar, he says, nigga, we saw Rock get pushed on stage like Calico was trying to get indicted. So, you know, he saw Rock could be a drug. Remember the battle with Calico versus Rock, and Calico was pushing Rock on stage a lot. Next bar, he says, new flash, battle rap events is not the place to act gangster, like he was talking to him. Now, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, he kept stumbling throughout the second round. A lot of his bars was hitting and missing. Okay, you know, the crowd was kind of booing a little bit. You know, I was kind of surprised because usually every bar be hitting and landing, but for some reason he was off his game. And maybe it's because of the BET Awards, because even Suge, I heard, you know, I saw it at the end and he kept choking. Okay, so it didn't seem like Geechee Gotti was all that prepared. So that second round is pretty debatable. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I may edge that second round to Rock. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the third round. Rock, he goes first. He was like, yo, niggas thinks my hands don't work. I would clap you back and forth till you hypnotized. Like, Rock was going in. Every bar Rock was saying in this third round was hitting y'all. Okay, then he says, all it takes is the right click and you're minimized, he was saying. Next bar, once they beat you with the 4, how can you memorize? You know, forgot, how can you memorize? Deep slice, give him 3 strikes, jam master, he says. Next bar, lifetime worth of toothpaste, I ain't aiming it out, or aiming it right, or something like that. You know, toothpaste, the aim toothpaste, that was kind of fire, the crowd like that. I named this chopper after Tekashi and stand and point at a nigga because Tekashi been snitching. Okay, random, now this is where it turned, y'all. Random, hey, Cassidy, he started calling Cassidy out to the crowd, and I couldn't believe it. The crowd started booing, and they booed for a long time. Smack and Beasley was trying to calm him down. It took a minute, y'all, for them to calm him down. He was like, I don't give a F, I don't give a F. He was telling the crowd, shut up. I'm telling you, y'all, that was a big mistake on Rock's part. He shouldn't have been telling the crowd to shut the F up. Okay, they wasn't feeling him, but what was so weird is, you know, after a while, after they finally did shut up, TAYROC finished it, they booed a little bit, and then he even went into 1 or 2 bars, said his slogan. They actually said his own slogan with him, and then when Big Smack and Beezy said give it up for Rock, they gave it up for Rock. So it's like they hated the fact that he called out Cassidy, and they wasn't trying to hear that, but at the same time, they still loved Rock and still said his slogan and everything. So it was kind of weird. All right, so that second round, okay, was all right, so that was the third round from Rock. Now we're going to go into the GEECHI third round. So first round, definitely GEECHI. Second round was debatable to me, but I'm edging it to Rock. And the third round, I already said Rock's round. Now we're going to go to GEECHI's. Now he was short, y'all. He was real short this round. I done been so close to death, I could have set it up, he said. And the crowd was kind of feeling it. Gotti on every card, they got to have him. And I didn't continue the bar because he said something else that was fire. I couldn't even finish that bar. Then he goes, I done shot so many niggas. When I got shot, all I could say is, about time. When he said that, the crowd, they laughed. They kind of like that. Next bar, he says, these niggas lying. I done put more souls in the air than sneakers on wires. You know, I know in the hood, okay, we used to see, even in Compton, I remember watching movies where they have the sneakers on the wires, hanging up on the wires. But for some reason, the crowd wasn't really feeling that, you know. Then the next bar, he says, you can't be twisting your fingers if you ain't never twist a nigga's cap. And you're like, you can't be twisting your fingers, like doing the gang signs and stuff. He kept going back to that. Then the last bar I wrote, you rather rap with his enemies, because he was talking about TAYROC having his next battle with T-Rex. So he was like, this nigga phony, how he gonna rap with one of his enemies? And then he was like, you rather rap with your enemies, nigga, I had to kill mine. So he was like, I'm about to end it here, and he just said his slogan and ended it. So he ended it pretty short. And even though Rock third round, he got booed because he, you know, he only called out Cassidy, and that's why he got booed. But before that, y'all, everybody was rocking with Rock, surprisingly. So I'm not gonna front, like, the third round is also debatable, y'all. The third round is also debatable. I gotta watch this battle again. I'm not sure who I give it to, but definitely the first round, GEECHI. Second round is debatable as well, but I'm gonna edge it to Rock. Third round, I'm just not sure, y'all. I'm not sure. This battle was pretty good. I'm just not sure. It could really go either way. I might do a bar for bar next time. All right, y'all. I gotta get to the next battle. Later.